Yeah, we will probably research it. Before you can even think of selling it to her, we'll do a focus group. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't allow that. You know, I could not allow that. I don't want to. I was born and bred in Atteridgeville, at Victoria Atteridgeville, and raised by a single mother, and with the grandparents also played a very important role. And fortunately, I had many mothers because my family. You know how African families are. They had about 6 aunts and 1 uncle. And I remembered during the school holidays from Atteridgeville, we'll move from Soshanguve to visit one of our aunts, Mabopani, and then also Lubuaho, Moon, Shishego. But most important, it's our ancestral village where my grandfather is from the royal family, Honcho, in Skukune. So most of the also school holidays will go there. And so immediately after my matriculate, after I've matriculated in Atteridgeville, one of the schools there. The beauty about Atteridgeville is a very quite competitive township. So you grow up and then you see lawyers, doctors, teachers, nurses around you, and then journalism as well. So there were a number of journalists around the township, and you get inspired. Then you wanted to follow them because you could see the life that they play and the role that they play within the society. And then, one of my aunts just said that, why don't you try advertising? And then there was a star, in the Star newspaper, there was an advertisement that was looking for copywriters to study at AAA. So getting to advertising, it was by chance. It was not planned. And I says, this is quite interesting. And after I looked at it with my aunt, and I applied. My application was not accepted. And when I got that particular letter, and I remember very well, that it was not bad, and my heart was sore. The only thing that I did, and I think a week or 2 weeks later, I went to Rosebank to understand and appreciate what AAA School of Advertising is all about. And then after I made some inquiries, and I remembered the person that I've met at that time, it was the Professor Gordon Cook, and then they probably played a very important role because he persuaded me to say that, enroll, and I applied directly, and my application was accepted. And after my application was accepted, what you need to do, it was quite expensive, and it's still expensive school, and even till today. So you need to go out and look for bursaries, and I applied the Bayers Nodia Scholarship Fund, and my application was accepted too, and I did it myself. And so I enrolled at AAA first year, a little bit disillusioned to say, what is this? And second year, I got inspired by during school holidays when we were sent to different industries at AAA, and then I was sent to Leo Burnett. So I had 2 bursaries, one for Bayers Nodia, and the other one, it was Leo Bernard. So as a result, is that when I graduated from the AAA, I was automatically employed by Leo Bernard. I didn't even have to apply for the job because, because of the fact that they were sponsoring me. The first account that I worked on, it was SAA. And I remember Ian Bromley at a certain stage asking Eugene Toronto, who was my manager at that time, then says that, Groovin has ever been in a plane. He's working on my brain. Does he understand? Then Eugene, innocently and honestly says no. It was a Thursday, and Friday, that day I was told not to come to work. On Monday I should go and apply for a visa because I'm going to New York. It was just like, everything happened so quick. Going to New York, and I remember, my grandparents were a little bit shocked, and my parents at that time, they even did a farewell party. I went to church, and the priest prayed for me, and it was a farewell, the lunch at home, and then off I got to New York. But the magic about it is that I not only have to fly 747-400, this big aircraft. The business class had the opportunity to be interacting with the pilot and get into the cockpit, and that has made me to love advertisement. It inspired me, changed the world about advertising, and realize that it's one industry or one sector that gives you endless possibilities to do whatever that you want to do. You can meet all types of people. And then I had the privilege of doing campaigns for heads of state, for the ruling party, and I've met a number of people that in the industry that your role is to change the mindset, the behavior. We always say that once you get into advertising, the chances of you getting out, because you get hooked, because it's a very quiet, challenging, but fulfilling, but very dynamic industry to be in.
A very creative person, innovative. It was not surprising to see him in the advertising industry to deal with lots and lots of big accounts. But a very creative, committed person, and that's why I feel honored and humbled actually that I'm speaking on his behalf, because Guruven and Traveling is it's a gift to us. It's a gift to the nation. It's a gift to the business community. It's a gift to us as a country. You also executed some of spectacular programs when we were launching our ICT. We're the first province to launch ICT in our schools, where learners are using tablets and teachers are using laptops, and classes are no longer using chalkboard, but they're utilizing smart boards. For him to be the project head to run that program, I still feel indebted to his creativity, to his hard work, that the program is now moving into second year. So to Groven, I think, keep it up, my friend. I think we need people like you. We need people who will take the country forward, but people will also conscientize the nation to say we are not only business people, we are also social entrepreneurs. So there is a need for commitment to uplift communities, and therefore it's somebody that I would really, really recommend to people that do business.
The truth of the matter, you will be busy, and you'll always be busy. But there comes a time where you can't be busy for the entire year. You can't be busy for all your years. So there will come a time where things start to slowing down. You are able to start prioritizing things in life. Because, my schedule 10 years ago when I started in the industry and the schedule now, it's too different. 10 years ago, I was literally the managing director, that I was a financial director, I was a strategic director, that I was a creative director. Because it's your own company, you started on your own, you don't have the resources, and you tend to become jack of all trades. But as you grow, and then you start attracting good talent, good people. And once you start attracting good people, good talent, you give them that responsibility. You don't let it go, you just give them that responsibility. You give them targets. Then what you do is that you have time now to do other things that you were not able to do. Spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, go and see your relatives that you have not seen for some time because you were constantly working Monday to Sunday, and literally you were working Monday to Sunday because you didn't have even the time to go to church. It comes that time where your life is preoccupied by your work because you have devoted and you're putting so much energy in ensuring that that particular entity or that baby that you have given birth to becomes a successful entity. But once it starts taking shape and once it's there, and then you start pulling back because now it allows you to also create your own time and start managing it.
Groovin has always been creative, full of energy, and is matured into an amazing marketing expert, if I can call him that, because he's been in the field for so many years. He reveled from his youthfulness and energetic and creativity into a mature and well-rounded business individual who I think has shaped the industry that he's in, and he's renowned for his skills. So, I think that this calmness and maturity, from his youthful exuberance to a much more relaxed executive or entrepreneur, is all these things. Based on looking at how he started his company to where he is today. I think he's really masterfully managed his career throughout the years to where he is now.
You see, with advertising, is very subjective. It's a process. So, and I always say to people, it's a science. So the client gets involved throughout the way until he see the end product. Then even if he gets the negative feedback from the consumers, because of she was integrally involved into the whole process, she owns it. It's not like the agency now, it's responsible. Oh no, it was this agency that developed this campaign. Yeah, I told them not to do this, but because of the client was involved, that particular client, it's easy to defend it, even in the board, even in management, even from a CEO point of view. So that's the beauty about advertising, because I always say that it's a science. And funny enough, we were talking to some creative guys, and they were saying that, why there's a shortage of black creative talent. And I said, no, black people are creative naturally. There are a number of them. But the process is that the advertising it's creative with a process. Are you with me? So the people, they get process to say, this is the idea, but this is how you should channel your idea. It's like comedians. Now comedians, they have managed to find the science through the process. You know, those comedians, they prepare. They write the script. They know what they're going to show, want to shoot. But loosely, comedians, you go, if you're grown up in a township, you'll find a lot of comedians. You sit down, you know that this guy is a comedian. You want him around you because you guys are he's gonna make you guys laugh. Is he talented? But until he gets institutionalized and get into the process, he won't make money. The DNA, and I always talk about the DNA in most instances, the DNA of any particular entrepreneur company lies with you. It doesn't lie with the passion, the perseverance, which is my motto, the patience and the power. All of those things lies with you. You are the DNA of that particular entity. You have started it. You know its weaknesses. You know its strength. But the growth, it might not lies with you. It might lies with other people to grow that entity. But in order for it to operationally function well, you still need to oversee. And that's why sometimes it's so difficult to let go companies that entrepreneurs have started themselves. I'm a Honcho because I'm passionate about what I do in advertising or whatever sector that I do. So that makes me a Honcho. And the only agency that I thought of at that time, it was Leo Burnett. I went, approached them first time around, they said no. Second time around, they said no. And when I say the first time around, I'm not saying that like this month, the following month I go, it will be this year, after a year and I'll go back, after another 2 years I'll go back. So after 3 years that I have pursued them to say that I want to buy Leo Burnett and become their BE partner, 3 years down the line they have accepted it. And I remember when I saw at that time the CEO of Leo Burnett, or the chairman, Ziona Matsabi, and we were having lunch, and off she agreed that, okay, fine, make an offer. And I made an offer. Made an offer, not even having an idea where the money is going to come to fund that transaction. And then went to London, made a presentation to the Leo Burnett officers, and pursued them to say that I'm the right partner. And then they agreed. In 2006, 2007, the deal was struck. And that, for me, it was saying, yes, I have reached that goal. And all those accolades, all those awards had followed. Advertising Man of the Year, Person of the Year, Game Changer. That was 2007, after I have acquired shares at Leo Burnett. I ran that for 3 years and 4 years, and realized that, that after those years, having attained that goal, that it's more than that. And then after that, I've sold my shares back to Leo Burnett and publishers, and I focused on Blueprint.
It's quite interesting that he felt in the past he was achieving other people's goals, or rather achieving goals set by other people. Now he's gotten to a point where he can achieve his own goals, and that's the sign of freedom. And that is the sign of success in a sense, where you dictate your own path, and you can write your own story. And I think that's what's left for him now, to write his own story, and while doing that, write the African story as he sees it. And that's it. That's what's left for Grooven.
I escape. I watch a lot of movies. I tend to spend most of my time with my daughter, whom she is named after my grandmother. So my grandmother has played a very significant role in my life. So I tend to relate with her. And the beauty about her is that we were born, she was the best, the birthday present, because we know we share a birthday. So we tend to spend most of the time together. Without fail, weekends, she knows that, we'll have time to have breakfast before any schedule. And my son too also plays basketball. And then from time to time we'll, play together. And he just, completed recently. And there's a PhD student, and so she is more an academic and an introvert person that's like spending and most of her time at home, but focusing so much in her studies. This instrument is one of the most beautiful instruments to understand and play. And I did not have the opportunity when I grew up to really play it. But because I've got the means to actually empower my daughter to do that, we have invested in this instrument, even ensuring that she goes to necessarily classes to really appreciate this instrument, and she does it naturally now. I think the lesson is that if you believe it, in it, if you dream it, go for it. There is nothing impossible in this world to able to attain or fulfill your goal. Never underestimate your own power. So the lesson I always to them is that they must stay focused. They must believe in their goals. They must believe in their dreams, and they should never get despondent or discouraged. So that if I'm able to instill that to my children, I have done something that my grandfather did to me, to believe, not to give up, not to be discouraged, and to stay focused. He has played a very significant role in instilling that value of saying, believe, stay, fight.
Oh, yes. Wow. Wow.